Whew. I made a mess. Hey Bobby. Back on the skids there. Trying to get these attachment, the quick attach pins unseized. So I wanted to change the bucket or take it off so I could clean the front of the machine and fix one of the leaking cylinders. The quick release handles were seized. The only way I could get it off was to cut the bottom of the bucket out, which someone had already done, so it had already been welded. And this bucket's pretty worn out. You can see the cutting edge there is pretty worn. And then it doesn't actually close in on itself, and someone's welded an extra bit of flat bar in there. So potentially I'll buy a new bucket for it. But for now it'll be all right. I'll just weld those bits back in. So back on the machine. So this is the quick release handle. This is what it's supposed to do. You're supposed to pull that, and then the pin on this side retracts back in. So I'll push it out. Just like that. Let's see if I can get a view from up the top there. So that's what's supposed to happen. Now they were both jammed absolutely solid. So this one's just started moving, but I've welded a block of steel to the end of it because the end was just chipping off. And I'm using the big sledgehammer, and I've hit it probably 100 times. Heating it up with the MAP gas. Ran out of 2 bottles. This is a lot of work just to get this quick attach going again, but if I want to hire an auger or something like that, or a different bucket, or just put a normal bucket on it, I'll have to be able to take it off. So it's part of fixing up this old machine. One piece at a time. Next will probably be the glass. Sort that out and get the window wiper going, and then last will probably be aircon. Oh no, here's a look at how this works. It's the only way I can think of doing it. Now it's hot around the outside, and I've cooled off the pin. I've been heating it for like 20 minutes. Hard work on the hands. Smooth, 10 mil. Whew. Right, I'll do that for another hour. I'm just about there. This has been the hardest thing ever.
You got it.
Hallelujah. It doesn't even look that bad. How much beating I had to do. Whew. Oh no, I bet you this is stuck in here now. Toyota CV for the win. I've cleaned it up with the wire wheel. And now I've welded the end of the pin back on. So now I'll just linish it up so that it looks like it had never been hit with a hammer 100,000 times. And then next on the list is this ram is leaking a fair bit. I've cleaned it up with the pressure washer, but I'm going to pull the seals out of that and get that sorted. Now that one looks like it's been done. It's not leaking at all, so probably just leave that one for now, see how it goes. Break this loose. I got that pin out, that was a fight. Heat on my big sledgehammer. I'll just crack this loose. Pin out the bottom. Save as much of it as I can doing this. Don't know if you'll be able to tell. Looped that hose around there so that when the machine's sitting here while I have to go get seals, oil's not going to leak out everywhere. All I'll lose is the fluid in that ram. Beautiful. If I put it back in the machine as a holder, now I'll remove this set screw on the end here. I'll crack the end cap off it, hopefully. There we go. And pull that off. And I'll sit that set screw back in. So I need 2 seals on this backing block. But I've got all the new seals fitted up. In there is the important one. There's a blue one in there, and then your wiper seal, but then there's just a few outers here. Alright, and now the spacer. And then the cap. There we go. Now that set screw, I just put a mark on top so that set screw lines back up where it was. Had a divot in the rod. Beautiful. I'll crack that up with vice grips and then I'll put the lines on. Just cleaned out the grease nipple in there, made sure the hole was free so that it gets greased. This pin is a bit worn, you can see there, but for now it'll be fine. I'll have to replace it soon. Time to attack this glass. I'm going to cut it out. This little bit next to the handle, it's got a curve in it, is actually alright, so I'll leave that, but these other 2 bits need to come out and I'll sort that out. Right, gloves and got glasses on so I don't injure myself with a bit of luck. Cut this glass out. That was tough. I'm going to pull this door off and just give it a bit of a respray and then we can stick the new glass we got cut into it. Alright, there's that. Good structure on the cab obviously. Alright, I'll give that a wire wheel and a bit of a clean up and then I'll give it a spray. Alright, time to add a bit of paint. I'm done taping. A couple of coats on there. I think I put 3 on there. Beautiful. Got the glass up on the table here. Dad got a cut for me, which is awesome. I've just edged it, put an edge around it, and I'm going to do a quick smear of silicone so it has the black strips like the old bit did, so you don't see where the glue is. It'll be a nice neat smear. Now I've got a perfect border. How good's that? Alright, I'm going to put the door seal back on there. So we'll run a bead of silicone around the outside and drop it in. Oh, it started letting go. I felt it. Look at that. Fresh screen. Wonder how long until I smash it. We'll hang it on the machine tomorrow and then we're going to fill these joins here so we can get to the inside and clean it up. So obviously like it is we can't. And if we stand it up now the glass will just fall out. So rehang the door. Wow, looks crisp. Plug this loom plug in, so it's got a little switch here that I fixed up, which I didn't know it had. So when the door's open, it stops your control, stops you being able to lift the bucket up, so you can't accidentally rip the door off. I'm going to pump this joint of the glass from the inside and trail it off. I've got this glass cleaner, so it's just like a soapy water, leaves a clean, dust-free surface apparently. So we'll trail that off, and whatever oozes on the outside, I'll come out and trail that off from the outside. Righto, I'll just give that a last clean up, we'll be laughing. I knocked up this window wiper just out of 2 Land Cruiser arms, these ones are. And I made a little joiner at the top so it'll pivot correctly. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It saves me $200 on buying the genuine cat article. Righto, I'll stick it on, let's see if it works. Beautiful. Just got this engine cover off, the top engine cover. While I painted the door, I thought, I've got the paint here, might as well give it a coat. Pretty it up a little bit where we can. We are done. That looks good. Just that painted cover on the back. Tidied it up a little bit. Been a mission. This has been a real mission, but I'll put a new AC condenser in. I had to custom make one because I wasn't spending the money that Kat wanted for it. I've just got one line I need an adapter for. So that's tucked in there, which was a nightmare to get to. And then if I come around under the cab, I'll show you what I've done. So I'll put a brand new receiver dryer in, and then a new line coming off the bottom into the pump. So there's 2 new AC lines there. That runs up to that condenser. And then in behind there, I've put 2 new fans. Well, second hand from the wreckers, I just made them fit, but the motors were both buggered, so I put them in. And I had to get a fitting made to go on that pump there because it broke off when I undid the line. Don't know if you can see it or not. That copper fitting there broke and you cannot buy it. It was either $1,000 for a new pump or make something. So got that little fitting made and that seems to be doing the trick. I just need to get the aircon gassed up. I ordered a new rear tail light from Cat. Just plug this loop open hopefully and then we'll be where it should be. The last thing I want to do is chuck some paint on these wheels, tidy it up a little bit. They're solid, so they're real heavy and they're still really good tyres, but yeah, they just need a coat of paint, I reckon, to tidy them up. Give them a bit of a panel beat. The primer. Pull the tape off and I can throw them back on. Well, that looks heaps better.
Yeah.
And I did the other side yesterday. Just tidies it up enough, I reckon.